Hey, this is Michael from Walk Through the Bible. Welcome to this week's episode of Walk Through Voices. This one's a little bit special. If you've been following along in the Genesis Exodus Challenge and reading the books of Genesis and Exodus in the month of January, as we're encouraging you to just read through the Bible this year with the Daily Walk Bible reading schedule or listening to the Daily Walk podcast. The final week of this month and the reading were in the book of Exodus, in the final chapters of Exodus. Well, it just so happens that as we're reading through these final chapters of Exodus, I am sitting on a rock on the top of Mount Sinai in the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. I'm actually here with a team. We're working on another project for Walkthrough that will be released later this year, and I just couldn't miss the opportunity to share a few words with you as I'm sitting on my Mount Sinai in Egypt. It's the oldest, most traditional site for Mount Sinai, where Moses went up and heard from God and received the Ten Commandments, and it's spectacular. My words would fail to describe what it's like to climb up this mountain. Now, it's a pretty hard climb. It took us maybe 3 hours from the base up to the summit and several thousand feet in elevation change, and we're up at about 7,300 feet now, I believe. And so the air's a little thin, and the final section of getting up to the summit here are 750 steps, and they're not like steps you might have in your house. They're big, giant rock steps that you have to climb up. It's quite a challenge. It's a pretty big commitment to get up here, but it's pretty remarkable. And I was thinking, as I've been reading Exodus, and then thinking as we were just putting one foot in front of the other to get up here to the summit, I've just been thinking, what was going through Moses' mind as he was making the trek up here? Several times that he came, what was he expecting as he was coming up to hear from God, to see God, experience God? What was he expecting to find? Was he expecting to hear from God? I don't know. I don't know what was going through his mind, but I was thinking about that, and it occurred to me as he got up here, what he found was a God who committed himself to Moses and to the people. If you obey my commandments, if you follow the law, then God was promising to be faithful, to raise up this nation as cherished among all other nations. God was obligating himself to Moses and to the people, which is a pretty remarkable thing to think about. Sometimes in life we have these moments of climbing. Yeah, the cat just walked by. That's pretty funny, actually. That cat's been following us for a while. So it's interesting. We have these times in our life where we climb some pretty steep mountains in life. Maybe it's a difficult season in a relationship or health or finances, and you don't know what you're going to expect or what you're going to find at the top of the mountain. And you just feel like in life, you're just kind of putting one foot in front of the other, just barely trying to make it up to the top. Here's what I've been thinking about on the way up. I don't know what the mountain is you're climbing, but what you're going to find is a God who's made some remarkable promises. A God who is unquestionably faithful to keep them. And regardless of how hard the climbing of the hill in the situation or the mountain in life that you're experiencing feels like, I hope as you read Exodus this week that you're encouraged to know that God has promised to be with us, promised to protect us, promised to care for us. And he is a God from what Moses experienced at Mount Sinai all the way to the story that God is writing in your life. He is a God who is faithful. God bless.